Did we find
Who's?
that one? This guy.
Yeah, I did. I posted it earlier.
Okay, perfect. Let's see here. Okay, we got one. Well, man, this was fun. We've been on 3 hours and 10 minutes again. I guess I'm glad everybody had a good Easter. We stayed away from the chocolate bunnies and the marshmallow peeps and
Peanut
the
butters
factory
and-
eggs.
Hot cross buns.
Yeah.
I ate a number of eggs. I drank a lot of yolks this morning to get the day started right, so that's kind of Easterishy, isn't it? I get partial credit.
For sure.
Eggs are good.
I had 18 eggs today too. That was my OMAD today. Yeah, I've been trying to get back up to 36 eggs, but you can't go 36 eggs right out the gate. It's just too much. You gotta work up to 36 eggs.
I think an important part to add to all this, great information is understanding when you ever talks about intermittent fasting, we talk about autophagy and all these things. But yes, Arlene, yolk. The important thing here is to think about, eating protein for the sake of protein is probably a great place to start your journey. But again, understanding your proteins have to come in the proper ratios. Your body turns over 300 grams of protein every day, and you eat your 100 gram, so you get enough of your essential amino acids in the right way, and that balance is best mediated through eggs that come the natural way they come. Trying to do it through powders, I know I tried it because I'm supposed to eat 200 plus grams of protein a day, right? That's a lot of protein. Right?
Something I call light work, my friend.
Wait, if I wanted to eat 1 gram per body pound, right, of ideal, I'd be eating 250 plus grams a day or more, right? Well, I used to do that with the whey protein powder and the bloating. Oh my lamb. So it's really important, again, to learn a lot about this for what you're having, so that when you understand the whys you're doing, not just the why because you're healthy and you can do all the good things, but how this all works. Well, just make sure before you dive in that to understand as much as you can.
Absolutely. Question, Todd, how do you have your eggs? Scrambled, poached, hard-boiled, fried? And the answer is yes.
All of the above.
So, no, on the daily basis, the biggest I like soft scrambled is my favorite. So, basically, I put a bunch of butter in a pan and I brown the butter first. Get the butter really brown, nice and toasted. I love that. And then, I mean, I put a lot in there. I put 4 ounces of butter in there, and then I mix up the eggs, about 18 eggs for 4 ounces of butter, and I put those in there, and then you just keep it moving. And then you take it out when it's still a little bit shiny. That's the trick. And that's a soft scramble. And it has this nutty, salty brown butter taste to them. Oh my gosh. Those go down real nice, especially if you keep them moving the whole time. So it's a real light, fluffy, soft, buttery, creamy egg. Ooh, I could put some of those down in a hurry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the reason for 18 eggs a day, KO credit, there's a comment there.
Oh,
why are you having so many eggs?
I'm trying to get to 36 eggs a day. And the reason why is before I started carnivore, I had very low testosterone. My overall testosterone was 237. I want to see it somewhere between 600 and 900 or even higher. And eggs have a hormone in them called DHEA, which is precursor to testosterone, which is very good. And so it's actually as good as a testosterone replacement therapy. Some say if you can get 36 eggs down in a day, it's like a steroid cycle. And so I did that previously. It's the last 90 days I've been doing Lion Diet, and I just got off of it. I just completed my 90-day Lion Diet challenge. And on Lion Diet, you don't have eggs. But before that, I was eating 36 eggs a day, and it greatly improved my testosterone. And so I'm doing that again. It's basically testosterone replacement, and it works very, very well. So
now I got a question for you, Todd. I took exogenous testosterone for a while, and I don't want to get ugly here, but there's a direct impact on those those places of your body that are responsible for production, those areas no longer necessary, kind of wither and go dormant. So I'm wondering if exogenous through the precursor found in eggs will have the same effect or not.
No.
Okay.
And that's exactly why I did it. I took the exogenous shots too. I took them for 6 weeks, and when I learned that very thing, I was like, "Whoa!" And I stopped. And that's when I was like, I'm gonna let this work out first. Plus the shots were making me cranky. To be honest with you, I was getting like very moody because of those stupid things.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive. And so, but anyways, so I stopped taking them, and I looked up, and no, because this is just giving your body the reason why they shrink is because when there's an outside source of testosterone coming in, your body doesn't think it has to make it anymore because now the environment's providing it. Well, this is a precursor, so no, it still makes you produce it, but it's a building block that helps it produce it and calls for it. So you're still producing it.
But when you stop doing all the eggs, how precipitous was the drop off?
It wasn't. It was fairly much, but like I would say 40% or something. Just judging.
But you were still higher than what you were before you
exactly.
did
Yeah, he was low.
And so I think if you keep doing it, and if you were to taper off instead of going cold turkey, look at it like my oxygen, right? I was on home oxygen for a long time. Well, your lungs will stop working if you're on too much oxygen for a long period of time. Your lungs stop working. So what I did was I would only wear the oxygen at night when I wasn't in control of my breathing. And during the day, I would take it off, and I would make myself get winded and do box breathing to retrain my lungs to fight for its own air.
You titrate yourself down of the exogenous oxygen and let it become more of an onboard thing. Well, that's awesome. I know that when I stopped taking the exogenous, nothing really great happened for me. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But when I went carnivore, great things started happening.
For sure.
And I'm like, all right. And so I'm in the healthy range for a guy my age. I'm going to be 62 this summer. So I'm not a young whippersnapper, but I'm not as old as Brad or anybody. But but the idea being is that I would love to pick that up to that 600, whatever that was, that range at 600, which would be great, because I think that just in listening to everything they talk about, how estrogen is important for women, testosterone is for men. And us men folk, I'm sorry, we don't talk about important stuff either. We like to gloss it over and pretend that we all study McStudmuffin and everything's okay. And the bottom line is we ain't.
Nope.
We got to fix it. And that was exactly why me and Lindy wanted to start this show. When we were talking, we were like, this is the actual real day-to-day stuff that people like us needed to hear, because we were looking for it when we were both, over 700 pounds, and there wasn't an example like us out there. And so it makes you, it's kind of isolating, because you feel like you're the only one going through this thing, and you're too far gone, So we wanted to put examples out there for people like us, because that's what we were desperately looking for, was one person in our range that had made it, and we couldn't find it, and so that's why we both came out to do YouTube for Bill, because he was looking for it, and he was like, I hope this works. And we were like, it does work. And we both didn't even know each other. We wanted to start a channel just to tell Bill, no, this does work. We were exactly where you're at, and so
absolutely, you guys are heroes to people out there who haven't been able to find that. And if each one of you, Dr. Berry talks about why, did you know he does his medical practice for free?
I didn't, but I believe it, dude. I'm not joking. I'm sorry. Are you guys part of his PhD group at all?
Not yet.
So I'm part of his PhD group, and dude, like first time I talked to him, I was actually really like, it hit home, because I've never had a doctor talk to me and care as much as that dude. On his Zoom call, he gave me more information and was actually genuinely concerned for my well-being more than any doctor that I've ever seen in my life. Like, that dude is the genuine article. I've never seen like like a truer, more caring, helpful person than that guy. So it does not surprise me at all that he does it for free.
Well, he did caught a video that he did with Dr. Brewer recently, and he talked about his panel of 200 plus people that he's had. He charges no money. And he says, and the reason he doesn't have a practice to earn, quote unquote, the living is this affords him to. And he says, and his wife said, and he said he gave her full credit. He said that she said, you can hit 30 people a day in your practice or 30,000 on YouTube.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, it's not about the money. I'm a doctor. I want to help people. So, I mean, everybody's good when you do it for a charge, but when you do it for free and out of your hide, you know what I mean? Like you said, Tard, that elevates, at least in my heart, the stature of someone. But the whole idea is, for every 1 or 5 of us who come and talk, and 10 who might chat on the chat, there's probably 100 to 200 who are living vicariously through your energy and your success. So I salute you. I salute both of you, because that's a shit hot. I'm sorry. That's good stuff.
Yeah. No, it makes a difference for us. And now I'm seeing it, we're getting enough of reach now that we're getting the emails and stuff. And it's pretty gut wrenching when you get them. And it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so happy that there's places like, SBG and stuff where, I don't have all the answers for these people. Everybody's a little bit different, and not everybody's going through the same stuff we're going through. But I like the atmosphere of it's like a giant think tank where everybody's doing and just sharing information, right? Of what's working for them in real time, all the struggles, and they're keeping track of all that data of what has worked the best and what gets you through these hurdles and what breaks these these plateaus or whatever, and just works really, really well for sure. KO, so the answer is fresh ones if you can get them. Like if you can raise your own chicken eggs, that's the best. If you can't, try to get I like Costco. Where I'm from, Costco has a brand called Wilcox, but it's a local brand that Costco has here. But basically, you want the darkest yolk. You want it to be cage free, and you can tell by how thick the shell is. If it's a white bleached egg with a really light yellow yolk, the shell's brittle, there's no nutrients in that. You can tell a healthy egg by how thick the shell is. If it's kind of hard to crack and has more, that's a healthy egg. Like you don't get you can't have a thick shell and a crappy yolk. It's like it's got to have good nutrients to have and good minerals to have a good shell. So you want like the Kirkland's whatever brown free range organic cage free eggs or whatever, they're okay, but I really like the Wilcox ones. And then there's some other ones, but the Wilcox ones are my favorite. They're like $7 for 2 dozen of them. They come in 2 dozen containers at Costco. And when I'm eating eggs, I'll get like 12 packs, so 24 dozen a week. I'll be going through on those things. I put the hurt on them. Let's see, what one was this? I am 5'10". I tell my husband your story about when you had those britches on and they were too big, and then yeah. That was my Carhartt bib overalls, and that was because they thought I was going to be much taller. I tell this story. I remember I was 14 and I was working, and I had to. It was cold winter, and so I had to order a pair of Carhartt overalls, and I had to special order them, and they're the biggest ones that they made, and they're size 72 in the waist. And I got those things, and I put them on. I had to roll up the pant legs, and then I had to jerk, the straps, the adjustable straps up here. Well, I had to pull them all the way up, and the Carhartt part with the pockets in it, it was all the way up here to my neck. It came all the way up to my neck, and I had to use black electrical tape to tape up because the straps were all the way done, and I had to roll them up and tape them up. And then the X in the back, I had to take that and wad it up to pull it up so it would pull it up. So yeah, I'm getting choked by my pockets, like to put a screwdriver down in my bib overalls. I got to go like this, And so I come up there and I am brand new. You know, if you've ever wore Carhartts, you know how crisp and thick they are when they're brand new and all clean.
Stiff, yeah.
Yeah, so I come out all stiff and cardboard, going, you know, walking up there. And my brother and Phil hit the ground laughing, and they're like, if it isn't the Pillsbury Carhartt buddy. I come in there like that Stay Puft Marshmallow guy, but in
Right.
Carhartts from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I came in like that, but made out of Carhartt bibs. And I was 14 years old, so I had 72. I was, 600 pounds right then. And they're just laughing. And they're like, what's the deal with those? And I just looked at them and said, guess they thought I was going to be taller. Just laughing.
Well, that makes this whole carnivore story, like I said, it's like a country western song played backwards. You get your life back, your house back, your dog back.
Yep.
Exactly.
Get your health back.
You
Hey,
really
I'm gonna
do.
take this opportunity. I appreciate you all letting me barge in on your little party here. And again, I think I gotta look to come on sooner and do it.
For sure. Yeah, next time, definitely. Did we get Scott and Brett's channels in the
Yeah, I will.
links in there? That'd be awesome. I had a couple more real quick ones. Where was it? Do you work out? I do now a little bit. If you're asking me, I walk on the treadmill. I do a thing called the hit axle. I do free weights, resistant bands, and a little bit of yoga, and I use my shake plate, and I do air squats. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's see. What else? Did I miss anybody? I don't want to miss anybody.
I think we're all caught up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming on. Definitely check out Carnivore Scott and Brett at Who's Your Carnivore. And also Keith, the Carnivore Keith New Zealand.
Yay.
Keith NZTH. There we go. And yeah, and we appreciate also. Oh, we didn't bring it up very much, but this was our 6 months, 700 plus anniversary, and it's Keith's 1 year carniversary.
Yep.
I mean, our anniversaries
Yay.
everywhere.
Yep.
So we're doing good, and I appreciate you guys. And we will see you guys next Sunday, and we will do it all again.
We will.
Great.
If you
Thank
guys
you.
want to look at our faces again.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
See ya. Night.